A great way to calculate the return of your investment property is the multiple, Vervielfältiger in German. What is that exactly? How do you calculate it? And what's the best multiple you should be looking for before buying a property here in Germany? That's what we will clarify in this episode of the GermanReal.Estate Wiki. The multiple, Vervielfältiger, is an extremely popular number when you want to calculate the return of your rental property in the easiest way possible. All you need is two things. The purchasing price of your investment property, I guess there's not that much to explain here, and the net rental income per year. That one we should talk about a little. Net rental income is the rent you are getting from your tenant minus reserves for renovations, minus costs for property management, minus potential vacancies, minus nicht umlagefähige Nebenkosten. Basically all types of costs you have with renting out your property. You can also take the general rental income if you want, but then you're only making the property look good for yourself, because you think it's more profitable than it actually is. And calculating back and forth until the numbers are nice enough is a sure way to failure when investing in real estate. Now that we have the two numbers that we need, we just divide them by each other. Property price by an annual net rent. And that's the multiple, ladies and gentlemen. But what does it tell me now? Well, maybe the second formula helps you more when we divide 1 by the multiple in order to get the return of your rental property. A property worth 100,000 euros that returns 10,000 euro in net rental income per year would have a multiple of 10, right? 100,000 divided by 10. And the return of 10% because we divide 1 by 10. A 100,000 euro property returning only 5,000 euros in net rental income would have a multiple of 20 and the return of 5%. So the higher the multiple of your property, the lower your return and vice versa. If you would find a property with a multiple of 1, it would cost 100,000 euro and would return 100,000 euro in net rental income, so it would basically pay completely for itself in the first year. That would be absolutely incredible, and that's why it doesn't exist. Properties with single-digit multiples, so with plus 10% return, don't really exist in Germany anymore. Only the crappy shacks in the back end of nowhere where renovations will eat you alive. What is actually a realistic multiple for German investment properties? Let's see the Postbank Wohnatlas from last year that shows exactly that. Here you can see the multiple in 400 different German districts. Not surprisingly, there's no district with single-digit multiples. The dark green areas have the smallest multiple with less than 22.5. And a multiple of 22.5 is a return of about 4%. That's why we published a video a couple of weeks ago, fact-checking how realistic it actually is to make passive income when investing in real estate in Germany. Spoiler alert, it's extremely unlikely when you invest in a rental property yourself. If you want passive income from investing in German real estate, our real estate security tokens may be better for you. Check out what kind of properties are currently on our GermanReal.Estate marketplace. Link is in the description. And in the top German locations, mostly the A locations and really good B locations, the multiple is at least 30, that's the red areas, or even higher than 32.5 in the dark red areas. Based on our formula we had earlier to calculate the returns of investment properties, a multiple of 32.5 would be roughly a 3% rate of return. The highest multiple on this map is, by the way, in an area you will never ever expect. It's in Nordfriesland with, and you better sit down for this one, 82.3. A multiple of 82.3 means a return on rent of 1.2%. Extremely low. Not quite sure where that is, but probably on the island of the rich and the famous in Germany, Sylt. The question is really, what are you looking for as a real estate investor? Is it alright to invest a large amount of money and get a small return on rent in exchange for a relatively safe investment? Then invest in the red and dark red areas. Or do you want a cheap property with a relatively high return on rent if you find a tenant? Then invest in Sachsen-Anhalt, which is almost completely green. One thing's for sure, over the long term, this Germany map will get darker and darker red if Postbank doesn't adjust the multiple numbers in the future. We compared the 2021 map with the 2022 map, and rents increased by about 5% year over year, all while property prices increased by more than 17% over the same period. And that's why the average multiple on this map here is 28.5. In 2021, it was 25.8. And in 2020, it was 24.1. And this trend will most likely continue over the long term. So if you're interested to invest in real estate in Germany, then you might want to go ahead now before properties become less and less affordable right in front of you. Our first two properties are in the surrounding areas of Düsseldorf, one of the top 7 cities in Germany, because here properties are still affordable if you find the right properties, of course. If you don't want to go property hunting yourself, but rather want to invest in German real estate in the easiest way possible, then check out our real estate security tokens. I'll see you on our website.